When most people hear the term agriculture, they think farming. Okay, that is a big part of agriculture. So let's say that you're interested in farming, that you want to have a farm, and that's your career goal. So what does it take, and what will you actually need to do it? My guess is if you're interested in this already, you've probably had some experience in farming. So this should make some sense to you, hopefully. First of all, what's the job? Well, the job is dealing with growing crops. And one of the biggest issues that farmers have to deal with is you can't control the weather. My stepfather is a farmer, and basically his number one concern is something he can't control, and he understands that. So you have to, the job is you have to do your job and plant and do everything we're going to talk about, and then understand that some of the things are beyond your control, and you're kind of reliant on the weather. And every season, for instance, could be different than anything you've ever experienced before. So the job is a lot of hands-on, it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of dealing with plants and animals, and if that's something that's up your alley, then farming might definitely be for you. Animals and livestock is one way to farm. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to only do animals and livestock. Lots of farmers have both. They will have crops and they will have livestock. It depends what you want to do. Livestock, that requires some things. It requires having to feed them. There's some expense that goes into that. It also requires maybe having to know the process of how they give birth, because that's going to happen on your farm if you have enough livestock. So different things like that, knowing animals and their routines and being able to deal with animals, that's going to be something that you'll probably have to do when you're farming in some capacity. It's a physical job, and that goes without saying. My stepfather is in his 70s, and he looks like he's in his 50s. His physical condition is awesome. And the reason he is in such good shape is that he's constantly doing things that are physical. So he is in great physical condition all the time because he knows I have to be. Now, you're saying, does he run? Does he bike? No. His job is so physical that it just keeps him in shape. So know that this is a physical job, that it's things you're going to have to do physically. So if you're somebody who doesn't quite like to be sore, or you mean I have to get up and go move that, then farming's not your gig, because all of farming for the most part is very physical. Equipment repair, that's something that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to farming. Some people think that in the off season, like I'm from Ohio, so when it's snowing, farmers aren't doing anything. Absolutely wrong. Farmers are constantly working. They're repairing equipment. They may have to make a repair in the field because something is going to snap or break. They need to know everything about their equipment, because more than likely, you're not going to send this to the shop. You're going to go get the part and you're going to fix it yourself. So that's something that farmers are very up to date on and are able to do, because one, it saves you money, and two, you don't have time to send the tractor to the shop. You've got to I need it now, I need it today. So you've got to go get the part, you've got to come back, and you've got to be able to fix it. So again, knowledge of equipment repair is incredibly important. Vocational training is something that you can maybe get in high school. I have a vocational school that's a part of my high school, and one of the biggest programs they have, and it's because I'm from a farming area, is their agricultural program is outstanding. And it teaches, for instance, equipment repair. It's one of the things that in high school, a lot of my high school students who want to be farmers, one of the first things they learn how to do is how to fix things, because the planting kind of takes care of itself once the equipment is working the way it should. So one of the things you can get training-wise, maybe in high school if there's a vocational school near you, is agricultural training, and they'll train you in different types of seeds and why you would use these seeds and how much things cost. They do all of that, and they do livestock. So all of that training you can get to get a hands-on feel for exactly what you would do on an actual farm. And then a lot of this is on-site training. I knew very little about farming before I knew my stepfather. Now, am I an expert? Absolutely not. But I'm amazed at how much I have learned by just simply helping him do things on the farm. I have helped him spray pesticides onto crops in a field. I never really knew how they did that before, so I went along with him and did it. And something as simple as baling hay. when you really understand the process of everything and they're explaining to you the equipment, you really start learning a lot more about what goes into it. So the best rule of thumb is if you want to be a farmer, get yourself to a farm and start helping and working out. And once you start doing that, you'll be amazed at how quickly the on-job training really sets you up for success. And then you can go and have your own farm and be able to do that. Farming is what I call a lifelong career. This isn't something that you retire from. My stepfather has already said, I'm probably never retiring because I just like it too much. This is my life. So for farmers, their farm is kind of their life, not just their job. We'll see you next time.